Somehow, every year, summer comes to an end, and now we're all thinking about back to school 2022 and getting into that routine. As an organizer, I help many busy families gear up for this season, and so I want you to join me for today's video podcast episode where we're going to be talking about my best tips and tricks to get organized for the school year. So I invite you to stick around and let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Speak Organized podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Summers, professional organizer, decluttering expert, and productivity-based life coach. I like to speak organized to give you the tools to conquer your clutter, live life with more purpose, and learn all about the business of tidying. And today's episode is all about back to school for 2022. I have some ideas that I want to share with you, and this episode is a little bit different. I'm doing a bit more of a vlog style for my YouTube viewers. So if you are a visual learner, you like visual representation of examples, I encourage you to go back and actually watch this episode on YouTube. I will be sure to link to that in the show notes if you happen to be listening today. And if you're watching, well, you're already ahead of the game there, but I will do my best to describe what I'm setting up, all these systems that we're going to be talking about today to help you ease into the school year, to have some really solid systems in place that are going to alleviate a lot of the stress of having to search for things that you need during the morning rush and all of that good stuff. So we're going to dive in and talk about all of that after a special offer. Please go ahead and look at the screen of your device, however you are watching or listening to this podcast today. Tap that little subscribe button so that you aren't missing any new episodes. I am putting out new episodes of the podcast at least 2 to 3 times per month. I've got new YouTube videos out every single week. I don't want you guys to miss out on any of that good stuff. And I've also got a bunch of education and resources that I love to provide my community members through I Speak Organized, so I'll get you guys all up to speed on that stuff. As you scroll through and check out the show notes of the podcast or the description of the YouTube video, you'll find a link to my free Facebook group. It is an awesome, very supportive community. It's free to join. It's great for anybody who's on a decluttering and organizing journey, as well as if you are interested in starting your own professional organizing business. There are lots of people just like you inside that Facebook group as well. Please feel free to chime in and let me know what it is you're interested in learning in that group. I also have a couple other special offers for everybody listening and watching today. The first one is a discount code to my exclusive mini course, Better Habits in 30 Days. This actually is something that will help you with procrastination in general and working towards your goals for the rest of the year. Really, whatever it is, that mini course is meant to help you jumpstart that motivation and fight procrastination to get through that project or get through those hurdles in 30 days. And it's one of the most affordable courses that I offer online, and it's packed full of lots of useful information, tips, and accountability to help you get through those tasks and succeed with your goals. So go ahead and check out the link to that, and you can use discount code EARLYBIRD2022, and that will give you $5 off your purchase there. So be sure to check that out. If you have any questions, please comment down below. And as always, I'm revealing a special bonus freebie for you at the end of the episode, so be sure to stick around until the very end to find out what it is. All right, fam, we're gonna dive into the 7 tips to make getting organized for back to school a total breeze. Number 1 on this list is to declutter your kids' wardrobe. So go grab that donation box and head on in there. This is one of the first things that I always do with my clients to make the process of getting ready in the morning during that crazy, busy, chaotic morning rush much easier. So I usually go in there with the box and I'll start with the dresser and go through and pull out things that don't fit into the donation box. I'll grab things that are stained, torn, zippers not working properly, missing buttons, things like that, and put them aside to be recycled. I'll leave a really good resource for clothing recycling down in the description and in the show notes for you. It's actually a service that you can have a bag shipped directly to your home, send off those clothes to keep them out of the landfills. And then after that, I usually go through and check all their shoes, make sure that we have the shoes that we need for church and school. I will go through all their hanging clothes, and I also encourage you to keep a list handy during this process so that you can write down items that need to be replaced during your back to school shopping extravaganza. And since we're talking about clothing, I'm going to give you a quick pop quiz. What comes to mind when you think about getting your clothes ready for the first day of school? Laundry, that's right. I knew you knew that. You aced it 100%. I want to make a quick shout out and thank you to AJA and More for sponsoring today's episode. Their home laundry organizational solutions are the absolute best. Please join me in supporting this top-notch small business by following them on Instagram for laundry day humor, laundry tips, and of course, their organizational products. I have featured here the magnetic lint bin and pocket treasures bundle. You can buy both of these together and save on their website directly, or you can shop their Amazon storefront, and I will be sure to leave links to both of those in the show notes and the YouTube description. So go check them out. Thanks again to AJ and More for being today's episode sponsor. Next on this list is everybody's favorite back to school shopping for school supplies. So we're going to review their school shopping list that you receive from their teachers. And before you go all crazy and spend excess amounts of money that you might not need to, check their backpacks first, their desks, art supplies, and see what you already have. You may be surprised to find that you already have the things on hand that you need for the school year this year. Grab that list and start planning your purchases. And I've made this easy on my clients by creating a back to school supplies shopping spreadsheet so that you can plug in the school supply, how many you need according to each child, tally those up to get the total quantity, and then you can check it off your list when it's been purchased. I do the same exact thing for school clothes as well, and this spreadsheet makes it really, really easy to keep track of everything, make sure that we're getting all of the supplies that kids need without forgetting something and having to rush out last minute. This really makes this process so much less stressful and a lot faster. So we already talked a little bit about the morning rush and the chaos of trying to get out the door on time with everything that you need. So number 3 on this list is to create and organize morning routine spaces. So think things like the bathroom space. Think about how to make getting dressed in the morning easier. You can use those great segmented hanging cubbies to plan outfits for the entire week, especially for younger kids. That's a really great way to take a lot of the pressure off of getting ready in the morning. They can choose their clothes in a calm time the night before or over the weekend, decide what they want to wear for the week, and you're off to the races. And I'm just going to quickly show you how I organize my bathroom drawers. And I have 2 little girls who need their hair done every day, and so having an organized hair accessory drawer is an absolute must. So I've purchased these drawer inserts in a couple of different sizes, and that way you don't have all these little pieces rolling around in the drawer and getting stuck underneath things or getting more easily lost. You can see exactly what you have. Same thing with brushing their teeth. We make that super easy and accessible for them to open the drawer, grab their current toothbrush and toothpaste. We also have backups of everything that they need for that in this drawer. And we do a very similar thing in our own bathroom. My husband and I both have a daily routine drawer set up exactly the same with the drawer inserts, with all of the things that we reach for most often to get ready and out the door. All right, number 4 on this list is to compile a master list of lunch ideas. If you're going to be packing a lot of lunches this year, it's nice to have a big list of ideas to pull from so that when you're doing that in the morning or the night before you're tired, you really don't have to think too much about it, and it's easy to plug into your meal prep routine. So I recommend that you have anywhere from 20 to 50 ideas on hand. And I know that kind of sounds like a lot, but that will allow you to be able to rotate through those ideas throughout the year without your kids getting totally burnt out on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every single day. So you can go ahead and check out and download lists from Pinterest. This is the easiest way that I have found to generate a really healthy list of ideas. And you can also create your own with inspiration from Pinterest, and then just plug these lunches into your weekly meal plan so that you know what you're packing each morning. And one little bonus tip I have for you is that many sandwiches can actually be made ahead of time and put in the freezer to easily grab and go in the morning. And as I'm making my daughter's peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with it. I have these really cool sandwich cutters that I've found on Amazon. I'll be sure to link to them here. We have butterflies, puzzle pieces, stars, all kinds of fun stuff. And you can get them in a kit, and I'll be sure to link those. They're super, super fun. My girls absolutely love them. And it makes cutting the crust off really easy. And like I said, you just pop it in the bag, put it in the freezer, and you're ready to go. You can prep several sandwiches. All right, my goal with this one is to further increase the efficiency with which you can get in and out of the house. And so this tip is to create a transition zone near the main entrance of your house. So wherever it is that you are entering and exiting the house most often, that's where we're going to set up this transition zone. Some people call it a mud room. This is just a place that is high traffic. You are transitioning from being in the house to out of the house or vice versa. And so you need this area to be set up with a solid, organized system. So it doesn't need to be fancy. Each person should have a set of hooks and bins or cubbies to store coats, shoes, and backpacks. And with every good system, you need a routine. And this is one of those things that a lot of people skip. And many of my clients will say, well, I set the system up, but nobody uses it. And a lot of times, the reason that is because we don't actually verbally communicate to our family how to use or to show them how to use the system that we've set up. And it may seem simple and straightforward to us, but our kids are not used to that routine. So what I like to encourage people to do, what I do with my own kids, is to start practicing this routine before those morning rushes hit, so that that routine will then become a habit that they don't even have to think about. Next tip on this list is to set up homework stations, and this will look different for different aged kids, and also depending on what type of studier your child is. I was talking to a client earlier today about her study habits versus mine growing up, and I actually liked to be out in the main living area where I could see and hear other people. Having that background noise and having other people around was comforting for me and helped me focus, which I don't know why, but that's just me. And she was saying that she's the total opposite, and she would need to shut her bedroom door, be totally by herself, didn't want anybody looking over her shoulder while she did her homework. So it's a good idea to have that conversation with your kids to determine what their comfort zone is for focusing and studying. So once you've determined what your kids' homework station is going to look like, you can have either a portable file box, or you can have a desktop file system to keep all their papers organized and easy to find. So ideally, they'll take all of their assignments and notes and any papers that need to be held on to for the remainder of the school year or the term, whatever it happens to be, will come out of their backpacks and into this desktop filing system. And this is an example of one that I really, really love. This is from IKEA, and the trays pull out completely so nothing gets lost in the back, and they have lips on the front so you can actually label each section for what types of papers you want to store in this space. So I've got a couple of examples here. We've got one for homework, we've got one for projects, we've got one for notes, and then any paperwork that needs to be signed by a parent, a permission slip, something for a field trip or what have you, just something that parents need to be aware of. So we set those trays up and we're good to go. And you can put all of those things in a safe place that they can grab and refer to later without those papers clogging up their backpacks, clogging up their notebooks and clogging up their lockers, however that happens to work for their routine. The next thing I like to add to this homework station is a little caddy that has all of the supplies that they'll need to get their homework done. So they're not searching their backpacks, they forgot their pencil case at school, whatever it happens to be. It's a good idea to have duplicates of all the stuff that they use at school on hand at home. So you've got room for your pens and pencils, your crayons, your markers, scissors, glue, whatever it is, whatever age your kids are. I have a little tin here that has zip drives in it if they need that for whatever reason. You have stickers and paper, stationery, construction paper you can put in the back. And then I like to just plop that right on top of the file system that you set up. You can also take this and put it into a basket if your kids are portable homework station people. Just put it into a little bin or a basket and they can carry it around with them if they're doing their homework on the couch or on the dining room table, whatever it is. They have all of the supplies that they need, and then you can take that basket and put it away until they need it the next day. Another tip that I saw recently that I thought was a good idea for this setup is also to set out snacks and water for your kids so that they have everything that they need ready to go so they can just dive into getting their homework done first thing. They're not rummaging through the cabinets, eating a bunch of junk that you don't want them to. They're ready to get focused and down to work, and they have the fuel that they need to get on with that task and then into the rest of their evening routine. All right, our last tip here is to set up an archival file box for your artwork and special projects and assignments for your kids. So this is similar to that desktop file system that you would have set up for your teenagers to have an archival place to put notes that they'll need for future reference, for finals or what have you. This is for storing your kids' projects and special awards and artwork in a way that is easy and also keeps them protected as a sort of memorabilia thing. So you'll set up this memorabilia box or use a stacking bin and use zipper pouches to organize each school year chronologically. And I saw this idea recently. I absolutely love it, and I have these zipper pouches. I purchased them in bulk, and so I use them for everything. Above all, we're just trying to create a super efficient and stress-free environment, because going back to school for a lot of kids can be anxiety inducing. We want to provide an environment that supports them. It could also be a good idea if your kids are little to grab a couple of storybooks about the first day of school, help your kids choose a fun outfit, and grab a couple of small gifts. You can get one for your kids just as a, hey, I'm really proud of you, I'm really excited for you. Make the first day really memorable for them and send them into the school year feeling really positive. And then you can also consider getting a small gift for your teachers as well, because they put a lot of time and effort and energy into getting their classrooms ready, into getting ready to educate and support your kids throughout the entire year. They're going to be spending a lot of time with them. Just something to let them know that you're thinking about them. All right, fam, that is going to wrap it up. But before we go, I want to make sure that you get your hands on the special bonus gift that I have for you for watching or listening to this entire episode. I have my signature back to school supplies spreadsheets available for you, totally free. My gift to you. All you have to do is click the link down in the description or the show notes to snag those, print them out, and then take them on your merry way as you do all of your back to school shopping. Happy to help you out. If you guys have any questions or you want to share anything, any additional tips with us for getting ready for back to school, please go ahead and comment down below. Don't forget to check out the Better Habits in 30 Days mini course. I would be honored to help you live your best life. And beyond that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in the next one.